Hello friends, I am Mayantika and in this video I will be discussing about Synchrotrium endobioticum. Synchrotrium endobioticum belonging to the class Chytridiomycetes and family Chytridiaceae. Now this Chytridiaceae family, all the chytrids are parasitic in nature, parasitic on plants, parasitic on animals. Now in this genus Synchrotrium, they are parasitic on plants that are economically important as well as even the weed plants. Synchrotrium tarasaki, which is reported to cause galls in the aerial portion, that is the leaves, galls and hypertrophy in the leaves of dandelion, that is Tarazacum, and also Synchrotrium endobioticum. It causes the black wart disease in potatoes. And Synchrotrium trichosanthoides is also another parasitic chytrid that causes this wart disease in cucurbits. Apart from that, Synchrotrium is mostly found in the areas that are very cool. I mean, in India, they are found to be growing in the potato growing region in the hills. Though potato is grown all over India, but maximum damage caused by this wart disease is found only in the cool climate in the hilly region. So from this we can easily confer that the Synchrotrium and endobioticum, they are mostly dominant in cool climate. They grow well in cool climate. So let's start the video about the Synchrotrium. This video will be about the entire an overview of Synchrotrium as well as the life cycle of Synchrotrium endobioticum. Overview of Synchrotrium endobioticum. Now, for an overview, we should first notice the taxonomic position. Taxonomic position of any organism, plant or animal is very important, especially in long question. If you write the taxonomic position, it is very important to write a taxonomic position of any organism you are discussing. You are writing the answer for long questions. So taxonomic position, you should be learning it properly. And division, it belongs to division Mastigomycota, class Chytridiomycetes, order Chytridiales, family Synchrotriaceae, and genus is Synchrotrium, species endobioticum. So Synchrotrium endobioticum is a chytridiomycetes, that is the lower chytrid, and belonging to this Synchrotriaceae family, which is a parasitic family of chytrids. Now I am not going detail into the taxonomic position because I have already made videos in the class Chytridiomycetes, where I have discussed an overview of the characteristic of the Chytridiomycetes. So here I will not be discussing about the taxonomic position. However, to get an overview of the entire what type of fungi it is, whether lower or higher, what is its mode of nutrition and all this, you should be going to that video, and link I have put in the description box about the video about the class Chytridiomycetes. So Synchrotrium endobioticum, it is mostly found in the cool climatic condition, that is in the hills, and in the plains it occurs during the winter season. Because in the plains we usually cultivate the winter crop, or one of the winter crop is potato. So in the plain region where we find potato growth only in the winter, then only we can observe this type of disease. So Synchrotrium endobioticum is cosmopolitan in distribution, and as because it is a lower fungi, it is belonging to class Chytridiomycetes. So this thallus is unicellular, naked, and holocarpic. Now, holocarpic fungi are those fungi where the somatic phase, that is the growth phase, and the reproductive phase do not occur at the same time. One follows the other. That is, at first there is the growth phase, then the entire cell or entire hypha converts into the reproductive phase. So such type of fungi is called holocarpic. So the thallus is unicellular, naked, which means that there is no cell wall, and it is holocarpic, which means that they have a separate somatic phase as well as reproductive phase. Both phases do not occur together. So this is about the thallus structure, and the thallus structure is pretty much very simple, and the mode of nutrition is parasitic, and that also endoparasitic, which means that it will be growing inside the tissue of the plant. And so, what is the economic importance? So, this Synchrotrium endobioticum, apart from causing the blackwort disease in potato, also cause and other solanaceous plants, it can also cause leaf and fruit disease of cranberries. It can also cause crown wort of alfalfa. It can also cause brown spot disease of corn. So these are the economic significance that this crop loss is caused, and the symptoms of blackwort, which is the main disease. So in the underground tuber portion, the cells becomes hypertrophic and hyperplasic, and they form this dark brown or black cauliflower like outgrowth, which you saw in the very first slide of this video, that dark colored cauliflower like outgrowth in the tuber. And in the aerial part, the leaves suffer from gall or tumor like outgrowth, and the leaves also appear twisted. So these are the symptoms that are caused by the blackwort disease of potato. So here we see the entire life cycle of Synchrotrium endobioticum. This is the asexual phase, and this one is the sexual phase. Now we start with asexual phase, which occurs when there is abundance of water. So when there is abundance of water, the sporangium, it produces many zoospores, and we see that the zoospore in the Synchrotrium endobioticum, it is pyriform or pear shaped and is ophisthoconed. That is, the flagella is posteriorly inserted. When the flagella is posteriorly inserted, it is ophisthoconed. So the zoospore is pyriform, ophisthoconed, uniflagellate, and the flagella is whiplash type of flagella with a pointed end, which means that the flagella has an end piece. So this the zoospore of Synchrotrium endobioticum, it swims in a film of water or in water, and that which means that the soil is irrigated, and when it in wet soil, it swims and reaches the tuber or root of any solanaceous plant, tuber of potato in this case, and on reaching the host plant, it loses its flagella. Zoospore loses its flagella. This naked zoospore now becomes deflagellated, and it rounds off and later produces an infection peg. This is the infection peg we see, and enters in this, with the help of this infection peg, it enters into the epidermis of the host plant. in this case the epidermis of the tuber of potato. Once inside it, it rounds off inside the host cell and it stimulates the host cell to increase its size, which is called hypertrophy. Here we see that the host cell, this the cell that is infected, it is much more hypertrophic than the adjacent cells. Now after this, up to this is the infection phase. Now up to D is the infection phase. It is the infection phase. Then is the Prosora stage. What happens is that after infection is done, then the entire cell of Synchrotrium endobioticum, it absorbs food from the cell and enlarges in size and it enlarges in size, it rounds off and it produces two wall. Earlier the juice spore did not have any wall, but now the Prosorus, this stage, it produces two wall, that is the outer wall, that is the exospore. It is thick, warty and golden in color, and inner to the exospore is the endospore, which is thin and haline, that is transparent in nature. So after the Prosorus is formed, that is the Prosorus, then what happens is that after this stage we get this stage, that is the F stage, where the exospore, it undergoes a thin hole is formed in the exospore, and through it the endospore forms a vesicle-like structure, and the entire protoplast along with the nucleus, it reaches the upper portion of the cell. And once there, the Prosorus, it starts increasing its number of nuclei and reaches a 32 nucleate stage. 32 nucleate stage. Once this 32 nucleate stage is formed, the Prosorus, it undergoes compartmentalization. Compartmentalization is such that each compartment will have 4 to 9 number of nuclei in each compartment. So each compartment is called, it behaves like a sporangia. And here we see, so this entire here, each of the sporangia, it is called sorus. So this stage is called the Soraa stage. So earlier from here it was, up to here it was the Prosora stage, that is the Prosora stage. This entire thing was Prosora stage, and from here it starts the Soraa stage, and this Soraa stage, it remains quiescent or in resting condition if the condition for water this is low, that is a winter spore. But if this sorus, it gets a high amount of if the condition has high amount of water, then it again produces this sorus. It behaves like a sporangium, and it produces zoospores. So depending upon the climatic condition, that is amount of water, this sorus will be producing zoospore or gametes. So during the growing season, the sorus, sorus, they do not rest or they do not behave like winter spores, but keep on producing zoospore, and this entire process, that is the asexual reproduction, it is done repeatedly during the growing season. But when the growing season comes to an end, or at the end of the growing season, the sexual stage, it starts. where this sporangium starts behaving like a gametangium, where this each of the sorus or sporangium it starts producing this gametes. These are called the planogametes. We see that these planogametes, they fuse in pairs, and once they fuse in pair, a zygote is formed. And this one thing I should be saying, this gametes, they are also liberated by the bursting open of the gametangia, and they swim in water of the soil, and swim in the soil, water film that is that surrounds the soil, and then they fuse and form zygote. Now the zygote, after swimming for a certain time and on reaching on the surface of the potato tuber, it loses its flagella, and then what happens is that they enter the tuber of the epidermis of the tuber, and then form the resting sporangia. This resting sporangia is formed only during the low humidity condition or in the soil. And once the resting sporangia, it can rest for a period of even 1 or 2 years, and then this sporangia, it starts on condition, when the condition returns to high humidity, it starts again to produce the juice spore. So this was all about the life cycle, the asexual and sexual phase of Synchrotrium endobioticum. One thing I should be saying, that this asexual reproduction, the sporangia and the juice spores, asexual reproduction. Now this slide is about the asexual stage that I have already discussed in the previous slide, and so I won't be discussing it again. So do pause the slide and go through it. This is the Prosora stage that I was talking earlier. Pause the slide and go through it. Then is the Sporangia stage. This is also the asexual stage. Then we come to the sexual phase, where we begin with the gametangia, the zygote. Here we see the life cycle of Synchrotrium, where we will start with the sorus, this stage, where depending upon amount of water in the soil, they are either converted into juice spore or planogametes. So if it is if a high amount of water is present, then juice spores are produced, and this juice spore, they swim in water again, reaches a tuber of the plant, and it starts the infection phase that I have earlier discussed. And if the condition is dry, then it undergoes meiosis, and then the planogametes are produced, and then by isogamy they fuse and zygote is formed, and another the phase goes on producing the resting spore. So in winter, this sexual phase, it occurs at the end of the growing season, and the asexual phase, it occurs at the beginning of the growing season, and it continues during the entire growing season. Asexual phase, which starts with the beginning of the growing season, continues during the growing season, and at the end of the growing season we see the sexual phase. So this was all about Synchrtrium endobioticum. I have made other videos of fungi related topics, and all the links I have put in the description box. I have also made videos about algae, lichens and bacteria and cyanobacteria. So if you go to my video channel, then you can watch those videos. If you like this video, do share it with your friends, hit the like button, and do subscribe to my channel, because your subscription will help me encourage me to make more videos. And Thanks for watching this video, and do write your queries in the comment section. And also, if you want me to make any new videos regarding any topic, do write it in the comment section. Do comment about this video. Thank you for watching this video.